Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about why you need failure in order to succeed. Firstly, I'd like to address something really quickly before we start talking about the necessity of failure. And it's that when we think of success, we usually envision the end goal. We just imagine, the supercars, the yachts, the mansions, when in reality, that's not even the most important thing. What we don't often think about are the failures that came before this success. The truth is, failure is a necessary part of the journey to success. It's how we learn, grow, and ultimately achieve our goals. But why is failure really important? And why is it necessary for success? Well, there are 4 key reasons. Firstly, failure teaches us valuable lessons. Lessons you can't learn from anyone else. When you fail, you acknowledge your mistake and make improvements for the next time, making sure you don't make the same mistake twice. And this is a crucial part of the learning process, and it helps us avoid making the same mistakes over and over and over again. You could also argue and say that you can learn about failures, or rather failing, from reading books. Because the whole purpose of books is learning from others' failures, and that's actually one of the best ways of learning, because it helps you avoid that failing without actually failing yourself and losing the investment and the time which comes with that failure. And I wouldn't say it's wrong, that's also 100% true. Books are a great way to learn about others' failures, but failing yourself remains to be the best way to experience failure, because when you experience it yourself, the failure sticks in your mind and you make sure not to repeat it again. But sometimes when you read it in a book, you just forget about it and you make the same mistake you've read about. But still, both ways are really important. Now moving on to the second method, which is building resilience. And for those of you who don't know what resilience means, it just means the ability to overcome difficulties, how tough you are basically. And failure helps build that. The road to success is rarely smooth sailing. Think about it, from all the treasure movies that you've watched as a child, when has the treasure that's on the abandoned island, all the gold, when has it just been a smooth ride to get to the gold and the treasure? Never. There's always storms and waves. Just like in business, there are always obstacles holding you back. Failure helps us to develop the resilience we need to keep going despite these challenges. It teaches us to get back up even when we're about to fall down, and to keep pushing forward. Thirdly, failure leads to innovation. Some of the greatest inventions and innovations in history came from failed attempts. When we fail, we're forced to think outside the box and come up with new solutions for the problems we're facing. This can lead to breakthroughs that we've never actually thought of, and we wouldn't have discovered them if it wasn't for failure. For example, Post-it notes? They were actually developed by the scientist who was trying to make a really strong adhesive, and adhesive is just basically glue. But instead, he failed and created a weak adhesive. He then realized he could use this weak adhesive to create a new type of bookmark, and so Post-its were born. Now the fourth and final reason is that failure helps us appreciate success. Success is much sweeter when we've experienced failure. Think about it. When you make it and amass those millions you've always wanted to make, what would be the difference between you and the guy who was born to a rich family, who lived his whole life rich? Even though, from your perspective, it might appear that you guys are completely different people, in reality, when you look at it from a third person's viewpoint, you guys are exactly the same. The only difference between you and the rich kid is that one of you went through the failure and the hard times, while the other lived his whole life in success. Failure gives us a greater appreciation for the hard work and effort that went into achieving our goals. Without failure, success wouldn't be nearly as meaningful. So there you have it, why you need to fail in order to succeed. Remember, Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is merely part of the journey to success. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep pushing forward. Thanks for watching, and remember, don't give up, no matter what.